back to scene one, where the damage was done. You need to look in this mirror. Who are you running from? What have you done? What have you done? Can't wipe the blood off your hands. Smear it off if you can. Can't escape from the truth. Deep within lies the proof. The evidence is off the meter. Oh, you're as guilty as your leader. We're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you could see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you could see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you could see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you could see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare.
If my name was David Ruffin, quick to toast an MC just like an English muffin. Don't worry about a thing because the fool was never bluffing. I get headaches from the whack, so then I take a buffin' and I max. I wait until the opportune time and then I tax. But should I max? Penance and sinning is for sinners, so I guess I'm not a sinner. Beginners for beginners, so I guess I'm no beginner. This is how I spark it. There's money in my pocket. When it comes to having pleasure, I get hard as a rocket. MC Grand Pool coming through all the residue. The songs remain classics dating back to the Babalu. My boys, I call them op. The phones out of them jockin'. I can think of many episodes I swung in Lincoln Park. No, I'm not a phony, and I got a tenderoni. Love the way she is, not too fat, not too bony. Don't drink, shake, I won't sink like a tanker. Knock the boots off a skirt in Casablanca, and I thank her. Some rap for stink, like Engelbert Humperdinck. Better yet, this habit, I got a bad habit.
Welcome back to the show.
With the brain, and I wish behind the zipper. I'm living kind of good, similar to Jack Tripper.
Man, I love me some Grand Poobah. I like Sadat X, too. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So I pulled up Native Tongues. And, man, I'm bringing back some memories of some of these damn groups right here, man. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. So Native Tongues, like the core groups they have listed, the Great Jungle Brothers. I don't think I mentioned Jungle Brothers when I tried to run through a couple of what's considered Native Tongues groups from back in the day. So Jungle Brothers, Mike G, Sammy B, Africa Baby Bam, A Tribe Called Quest, I mentioned them, De La Soul, I think I mentioned them. They also list Money Love, pronounce it correctly, Dougie. Money Love. They also got Queen Latifah listed under Native Tongues. Okay, I never knew that. I didn't know she was put in that category. Black Sheep, okay. I didn't really, that wasn't really well known by me, but I can see that. Because of the way they dress. And I think another precursor to being included in the Native Tongues category is dreadlocks. Dreadlocks, I'm serious. Dreadlocks is kind of like part of it as well. Chai Ali, Fushnikins. I forgot about the great Fushnikins who used to let Shaq get the mic every once in a while. Then you got the Beat Nuts, Brand Nubian, Leaders of the New School, which Busta Rhymes, Charlie Brown was part of that. The Bush Babies. Damn, they went way back. The Bush Babies. I don't even remember what they're saying. And oh, my gosh. They got Common, even though Common's from Chicago, and most of these cats are from New York. But Common is from Chicago, so they got Common. I mean, I can see that. Common very native tongue-ish-y in his rhymes and his flow. And then they also have a classic group. I don't remember what they sung right now. The Far Side. And the Far Side is actually from L.A. What was the name of that cut that they had? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, Passing Me By. She keeps on passing me by. She keeps on passing me by. Okay. So, for the youngins listening to the show, for the greenhorns listening to the show, I'm telling you, all of those groups that I just mentioned just now, and you can just Google Native Tongues, and they got their own Wikipedia page, and you can see the list of the groups. If you're into good music and good hip-hop and not this crap that they play on radio today, man, and you want to go back and you cool with checking out, classic hip-hop, man, I'm telling you, look up some of these classic groups, man. Great music. From the late 80s, early 90s, man. Far Side. I did not know Far Side was from Cali. Okay, well, there you have it. Today we're paying homage to the great band, Brand Nubian. I tell you what, LeBron James had 11 points in the last game, 4 of 13 shooting, that killed the Cleveland Cavaliers, man, even though the game came down to a last-second shot by Avery Bradley. Given the 68 points that he had scored in the first couple of games in this series, it was just amazing to watch LeBron struggle in this last game where the Boston Celtics had a miraculous win on the road in Cleveland. It was this shocking inactivity in the fourth quarter against the Celtics, and the historic efforts by Jay Crowder in defending LeBron to a large degree, and the incredible night that Marcus Smart had, man, as the Cleveland Cavaliers went down, still up in this series 2-1, but went down to the Boston Celtics in Game 3. All right, James took just 3 shots in the fourth quarter and missed all of them. According to Cleveland.com, LeBron James-led teams are 1-10 in the playoffs when he scores 15 or fewer points. Perhaps the foreshadowing of what's to come from him in Game 4, though, is James is averaging 24.8 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 6.4 assists in the 9 playoff games following such a loss. He is 20-0 in playoff series in which his team won the first 2 games, and the Cavaliers are 14-0 in those sets as well. Cavaliers are 14-0. In those particular games. Once again, James hasn't lost a playoff series against an Eastern team since the second round in the 2010 playoffs when the Celtics knocked the Cleveland Cavaliers out in 6 games. Wait, let me back up on that one more time. The Cavaliers are 14-0 in those particular games. LeBron James hasn't lost a playoff series against an Eastern Conference team since the second round in 2010. So that's right. He's going to his 7th consecutive NBA Finals if they make it, which they will. LeBron James had one of his worst playoff games ever in that series. In Games 5, at home, he scored 15 points on 3 of 14 shooting, and the Cavs were blown out. The Celtics took Game 6 and the series, going back once again to 2010. Cleveland still has control in these finals, though. They're 13-2 in their last 15 playoff games at Quicken Loans Arena. Coach Brad Stevens told the Boston Globe that forward Amir Johnson has a sprained right shoulder and is questionable for Game 4, which is tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. Johnson was replaced in the starting lineup for Game 2 by Gerald Green, but after that shellacking where they lost by 44 points with Thomas out, Stevens went back to Johnson in Game 3. They're saying that he'd rather play Kelly Olynyk and Jonas Jerebko, who had 10 points in the last game, than Johnson anyway. Here's a quote. "We always believe in ourselves," says Avery Bradley, who scored 20 points and made the game-winning three-pointer in Game 3. "It's not always the outcome that we want, but that's part of the game." Well, one of the things as you go back and watch the film, and a quote from LeBron James, or a quote, says, "I thought LeBron made a lot of the right plays." Head coach of the Boston Celtics, Brad Stevens, said, "When you've got guys that are all on fire the way they are, the right basketball play is to find them." He just made it over and over. And talking about LeBron James throughout the series. Once again, tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Cleveland Cavaliers Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, hosting the Boston Celtics. And I don't even know how to describe what's probably going to happen tonight. Let's just say it's probably going to be an ass-kicking of epic proportion. Do you agree or disagree? Like, I could see another 30-point win tonight by the Cleveland Cavaliers. And just the psychology of sports, Boston winning a game, which they probably didn't expect themselves to win, even though they played hard. You got to respect them playing hard and giving maximum effort. But they couldn't think that they were going to win Game 3 in Cleveland after getting beat by 44 points in Game 2. So the emotion of winning that last game is probably still with them right now. And Cleveland's going to come out tonight, man, super, super aggressive. There's just no denying it. They're going to come out super aggressive tonight in Game 4. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to see what types of adjustments are made by Tyronn Lue tonight from Game 3 to Game 4. And that's basically what basketball is in the playoffs. It's kind of like a chess match. You make one move, your opponent adjusts. Your opponent does something, you adjust. And that's why a lot of times you have these back-and-forth series. Now, this year hadn't been a good indicator of that because of these blowouts and these, sweeps in these playoffs. But traditionally, that's the way it's been. Teams adjust. Then you go on another team's home court, and you have series that go 6-7 games. Once again, this year is a little bit different, but that's usually the case. And so I want to see what types of adjustments that Tyronn Lue is going to make tonight in this Game 4. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. One quick little note from the world of the SEC and South Carolina football. Golden Bears coach, talking about Cal, the head coach Justin Wilcox said on Monday that former South Carolina quarterback Brandon McElwain will transfer to play for the Cal Bears. He signed a financial aid agreement and will play football and baseball at Cal. McElwain played 8 games with 3 starts as a true freshman last year for the Gamecocks. He completed 62 of 118 passes for 600 yards with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, while adding another 127 yards rushing and scoring on the ground. McElwain was Pennsylvania High School Player of the Year and one of the top quarterback recruits coming out of high school. He must sit out a year at Cal and will have 3 years of eligibility remaining starting in 2018. You probably don't pay attention to South Carolina football that much. This is more so a story for the South Carolina fans that we do have listening to the show, as well as the SEC fans. But if you've been paying a little bit of attention to South Carolina, the reason why this kid McElwain is moving on is because they pretty much made a decision to go with this other kid, Jake Bentley, who started over Brandon McElwain later, very late in the season. And this kid Bentley is originally from Spartanburg, South Carolina. If you're from South Carolina, there's been a dominant high school football program in the state for like the last, really starting my junior year of high school, Burns High School. So Burns High School in Spartanburg, man, they probably got, this is no lie, I'm going to say they got 8, 9 state championships in South Carolina over the last 30 years. The first one that they got was against my Berkeley High School football team, Stags, back in 1987. And this kid went to that school. They actually moved to Alabama. And they actually brought in this kid's father. So Will Muschamp is the head coach of South Carolina, and Will Muschamp brought this kid's father in and made him an assistant coach, I guess, in trying to recruit him to get him to come to South Carolina. He did. And so basically what South Carolina people are saying that the whole thing was a damn setup. Now, keep in mind, this kid Bentley and you're listening to the